So in this video, we're going to dive into 5 tools for an online personal trainer. And this is for someone that is just getting started online, who's got 0 clients, 0 tools, 0 software in place, or maybe you've dabbled, but you just want to know what are the 5 main things and tools that you're going to need in order to actually get online clients, coach online clients, and build your online coaching business. So let's get into it. Now, the first thing would be to pick a training app. And what I mean by a training app is something like Trainrise, Everfit, TrueCoach, Coach Catalyst, My PT Hub. There's many different options out there on the marketplace, and it all really depends on your preferences, what you're looking for in terms of a price point, what you're looking for in terms of features, and all of them do very similar things. But some things that I would actually be looking for is an app with a voice note feature, because voice notes are going to be really powerful when it comes to online coaching and building those relationships. I'd be looking for something with a workout builder, which every one of them has, but some of them have better workout builders than others. I'd also be looking for an option, ideally, to have your community inside of the app. I know Coach Catalyst do this. And also I'd be looking for something that's got a modest price point. A lot of these apps, once you get into the 10, 15 client range, they can be quite expensive. So you want to find something that's pretty inexpensive and affordable, especially if you're just getting started online. I've mentioned a couple of options there for you. Explore some of those options if you like. Those are my top recommendations and some that I'm familiar with, but essentially that would be my first starting point, is just deciding on an app and not overthinking it too much, not spending weeks and months on it. Pick one and then move on. So the next thing you're going to need is a payment processor. This is going to be something that you can run your payments through and transactions through when it comes to your coaching clients and their fees. So I'd recommend something like Stripe. We use Stripe, and we've used Stripe for the last 5 years, over 5 years now actually, and we run all of our online transactions through Stripe. So for our marketing agency, for our software company, and also for our coaching company. So we run 3 different businesses and products through Stripe, and it just means that we can be organized with our transactions. It means that we don't have to chase payments, and the payments should come out automatically once they've been set up on a reoccurring basis. It's actually easy to take payment and set up clients for the first time, and it's just a way more efficient way than sending out bank details and waiting for bank transfers. And they do take a small fee, 2.9%, and most transaction providers or payment processors will take a fee, but you can build that into your pricing, and the cost of doing business is worth it, right? That 2.9% just means that you're going to be more organized. It's going to be easier to take payments. There's going to be less stress and fuss. And as a byproduct, your business is just going to run much smoother if you've got a payment processor in place like Stripe. So the next thing I'd recommend is a form builder like Google Forms, which is free, or maybe Jotform if you want something a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. And the reason for this is you want to have forms for online coaching applications or online client applications. You also want to have forms for check-ins or doing an intake form when you're onboarding a client. And Forms is going to be a very useful tool in your acquisition process and also your delivery process. Like I mentioned, there's 2 options there. You've got Google Forms, which is completely for free and something you can set up. And then Jotform is also got a free option, but they've also got a paid option. I believe actually Jotform is free as well. You could use Jotform. And then there is another paid option, which is the best looking one and one that you may be familiar with or may not be, but it's called Typeform. And all of these offer form building options, and you can create any type of form. And if you're building an online coaching business or online fitness business, you're going to want a way of basically collecting information in a very efficient way, whether that's an application, whether that's for a check-in, or whether that's for maybe an intake and onboarding process. And so those are 3 options to choose from. And we actually have our own form building software inside of our software for online coaches. I'm actually going to put a link down below if you do want to check that out, where we have form builders, we have funnels, we have email, we have pipelines, we have all kinds of things all built into one piece of software specifically for online coaches. And if that's something that you want to find out more about, then there's going to be a link down below this video. The next thing is a call scheduler, right? If you're doing online coaching, online personal training, or meeting with anyone online, you don't want to be going back and forth with times and dates for 20, 30 minutes trying to organize it. Simply just set up a link and then make your times available, and then you can just send people that link to book a time with you. And that could be for a consultation, that could be for a coaching session, that could be to deliver something to your client, could be a check-in process, whatever you want it to be. But setting up a call scheduler is just going to make your life much more efficient. Now, there's lots of different options on the marketplace. You've got Calendly, which is probably one of the most recognizable ones. It's free if you just set up one event, but if you create multiple events, multiple types of events, then you're going to have to pay for it. It's probably about £10 or $10. Equally, we do have a call scheduling piece of software inside of our clientware tool. Again, there's going to be a link below if you do want to check that out, but I'm telling you, this is going to save you a ton of time, and time is very valuable, right? You don't want to be going back and forth, in my opinion, via Messenger or via text or via the DMs, trying to organize a time. Just send someone a link and they can go book during a time that works for them and works for you. Now, finally, you want a video calling piece of software. And this just allows you to do a couple of things. It allows you to jump on a video call with a potential client, and as a byproduct, it's going to really recreate that in-person meeting experience or in-person consultation, if you're familiar with that. As a byproduct, you're going to build more trust and really more confidence in working with you when they get to know you a little bit better. And the best way to do that is through video and through a video call. And then also, once you get a client, then when you're doing your coaching sessions, if you want to recreate that in-person experience or being in person with a client in a room sat together, then doing it in a video setting on a video call is the closest thing that you can get to it. And so it's going to deliver a better client experience. I do all of my coaching calls via Zoom. I also do all of my sales calls and discovery calls via Zoom. And it's just a great way to connect with people on a much deeper level versus just doing a phone call, in my opinion. And that's really important in this online world where it can get a little bit distant. If you want to create that connection that's going to retain clients but also get you clients, then I would recommend using a video piece of software like Zoom. And there is a free version of it. I think you can do it for about 40 minutes per call for free, and then you can subscribe to the paid version. Pretty nominal fee, but in my opinion, it's a non-negotiable to have some video calling software, in my opinion, both for your consultations or discovery calls or your coaching calls, to really have the best success online. So there you have it. Those are 5 tools that I'd recommend. If you did want to check out our tool specifically, then there's going to be a link down below to check that out. And if you did like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content like this, turn on the notification bell and also subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.